Today we're going to be looking at solving equations that have variables on both sides. So you'll have to distribute, and then you're going to have to combine like terms. So you'll be able to distribute the coefficient, that's the number in front of the parentheses or in front of the x, by multiplying it by all the terms inside of the parentheses. And remember, you've got to take care of those negative signs. You can combine like terms by adding their coefficients. You can move the variable terms to one side, and you can solve using those inverse operations. Remember, subtraction is the opposite of addition, addition is the opposite of subtraction, multiplication is the opposite of division, and division is the opposite of multiplication. So here's the steps you're going to be going through. You're going to distribute, and then you're going to combine like terms. So first we're going to multiply it by all the terms inside the parentheses. We're going to add them, add those coefficients, move the variables to one side, and solve using inverse operations. And again, addition and subtraction are inverses, multiplication and division are inverses. So let's look at solving this one. So we're going to multiply the 10 times g and the 10 times 5. So I get 10g plus 50 equals, now on this side, multiply the 2 times g and the 2 times 9. We get 2g plus 18. Now if I look at this, there are fewer g's on the right side. So I'm going to move that one to the other side, because remember, our goal is to isolate. So I'm going to subtract 2g from this side and subtract 2g from this side. Now by combining those coefficients, this goes away. I get 18 on the right, and I get 8g plus 50 on the left. Now again, our goal is to isolate, so I'm going to move the 50 to the other side by doing the same thing on both sides, subtracting on both sides. I get 8g is equal to 32, negative 32. You can use your calculators for that. Now I've got a multiplication. I undo that by dividing. Divide both sides by 8. And I get g is equal to negative 4. So again, the reason I move the lower number of the variable is because I always like to have a positive, if at all possible, for the variable. All right, so this is on your worksheet. So you can fill these in so you'll have something as a guide for you. So if we look at the left side of this equation, and there's our equal sign, I get 3x plus 2 is equal to x plus 6. So where do I have fewer variables? I have fewer on the right. So I'm going to subtract x, and I'm going to subtract x. So 3x minus 1x leaves me with 2x plus 2 is equal to, well, those are gone, 6. Now move the 2, so minus 2, same thing on both sides. 2x is equal to 4, divide by 2, and you get x is equal to 2. So that's going through the steps, just like we talked about before. All right, these examples are on your paper. You can stop the video if you want to and try to do these problems by yourself, and then come back and I will go over them. All right, for those of you who decided to either stop or keep watching through, let's go through and solve these. Fewer variables is the 7x. I'm going to subtract 7x. Subtract 7x. We get 8x minus 7x is 1x minus 2 is equal to negative 9. All right, so there we are. Now we're going to add 2, and we get x is equal to -7. All right, looking at the next one. 5p is fewer than 8p. So I'm going to subtract 5p from both sides, and I get -14 is equal to 3p plus 4. Now combining like terms and isolating, -4 minus 4, I get -18 is equal to 3p, divide by 3, divide by 3, and you get -6 is equal to p. Remember, 3 divided by 3 is 1. All right, next problem. Oh, there's a distribution there, so I guess we have to do that first. So 6 plus 18k, 6 plus 18k is equal to -18 minus 6k. All right, so look at this for a second. Which group of k's do I want to move? Well, I want to end up with a positive amount, so I'm going to add 6k, add 6k, and I get 6 plus 24k is equal to -18. That equals 0. All right, subtract 6, because we're isolating, and I get 24k is equal to -24. Divide by 24, and I get k is equal to -1. All right, looking at number 5. Again, we have to distribute first, the -4 times 1, and then -4 times -6a. All right, so let's continue with this one. We get 24a minus 22 is equal to -4 plus 24a. Because when we multiply negative times negative, by -4 times -6a, we get a positive 24a. All right, so now we're going to move the 24a, doing the same on both sides, and we get -22 equals -4. Wait a minute. -22 is not equal to -4. Oh, that's something new. Let's look at our next page. Sometimes we have special cases. So if we'll look at this first problem, look through and follow through. So when we do our multiplication, we get 15x plus 6 minus 15. So we're right here. When we subtract 15 from both sides, we get 6 is equal to 0. And we know that's not true. So just like that last problem, where we got -22 is equal to -4, if we get a statement that is absolutely false, we say there is no solution to that problem. Now sometimes we get something that's a little different, so let's look over here. If the solution of an equation will always be true, well, let's go through this one and see what happened here. So when we did our multiplication, we got -8y rather, minus 2 equals -8y minus 2. We added 8y to both sides, and we got -2 equals -2. There's no variable in that solution, but it's a true statement. So when we get something that says -2 equals -2, or 5 equals 5, or 23 equals 23, that statement will always be true, no matter what we put in for the variable. So in that case, we say that we have infinitely many solutions. So if you come up with a situation like that when you're working on your worksheet, now you know what to put down. So now we're down to number 6 on your worksheet. So these are the problems that I want you working on by yourself. We'll put an answer sheet up on the bulletin board so that you can check your answers. But there's your problems for the day, 6 through 13.